Okay, let's go.
Okay, welcome back to American Rants Unredacted episode. Hold on. 38. Anyways, so been doing like a lot of random like videos of everything that's currently going on in the world right now, and it just makes me wish that we could take things back, like I'd say back to the late 80s, early 90s. I think times were just simpler back then. But, the odds of that happening are not so good. But it got me a little nostalgic. So I actually found a couple of nostalgia videos of the earlier days. I figured we'd watch it, enjoy it, comment on it, see what we remember, and have a good time with it. So let's get started.
Gen X is the toughest generation, and here's why. The lawn furniture could eat you alive. Bread was actually a luxury back then, so most of the time we just made do with what we had. We didn't know
I definitely remember doing that with hot dogs.
baked beans with sliced hot dogs were supposed to be poor people's food.
Okay, that was a little different for me. Poor man's food to us was sliced hot dogs, tomato sauce, green beans, and mix that all together and slap it on some rice. We had that quite a bit. The hot dogs are okay, but I don't know, the whole dish to me, no. My kids are freaking spoiled. I think I might actually make that for them one of these nights.
To us, it was just a delicious meal. Kids back then were called latchkey kids because our parents were gone all day working. We walked miles to school by ourselves, even in the snow. And kids today will never understand the struggle of being forced to practice cursive handwriting in elementary school. The only place you could find the exact song lyrics was inside the album booklet. That was the only way to learn the words.
Yep.
No smartphones, no GPS. You had to memorize streets, landmarks, and road signs because getting lost was a real problem.
Jeez, that was actually me all the way to the age of like 16, even when I was driving. So, a little backstory on that. I went to driver's ed in school. I had an eye exam, and I needed glasses, is what they told me. And I went in to get my prescription, got my glasses and all that, went to the DMV, did all the paperwork because I passed the test, and then they forgot to mark that I needed corrective lenses. And so from 16 to the age of 21, I was driving around. I could barely see detail, so I'd always have to go by landmarks about, okay, if I go down the street and I take a left at the Walmart, then I got to go 2 lights over, take a right, and then that first street, I had to memorize all that stuff because I couldn't see shit. It wasn't until I got into the military, and then they did my eye exam, and they told me they will never go visit my state because apparently they let blind people drive.
Cream came in those little paper containers, and we never complained. That was basically our version of Google, except it took a lot longer. And those playground seats and slides sitting under the hot summer sun, they felt like they were made of a hot iron. Riding in your dad's car on those scorching seats was pure torture.
I've never seen seats like that before, until now. That was a thing? How come they don't do that anymore?
If you grew up with these memories, tell me what year you were born.
85. Oh man, I forgot all about those spoons. I remember those. That's crazy. Oh, see, now that takes me back. That was the best book covers. I tried to explain this to my kid because going into middle school and she wanted some book covers. And I told her that grocery bags are the best ones. And those were the best ones. You know, it was just a blank canvas. You could sketch on it, write little phrases on there, take notes on it if you needed to. Like that was probably like now that I look back on it, like that was a great time doing it that way. Should keep doing it. You need to keep some of the old stuff alive.
Why the students from the 80s and 90s in America were the toughest. We'd leave school, put the chairs up like this. That 1-minute anxiety-filled test where you had to prove you weren't an idiot. Drinking straight from the water fountain, full of germs. Only the kids who really won the game got the ribbons. Climbing a 30-foot...
And that's true. And I think that really ruins, I don't know, in my opinion, like childhood. You know, everybody gets a trophy kind of thing. I don't understand that. Like you used to have to earn your rank, and you know what? If you didn't make it, it sucked. Yes, there are plenty of times where I didn't make like the top 3. It sucked, but it forced you to try harder, and I think that was the whole point of it. Like to be competitive, to earn your ribbons and everything. But now everyone just gets a freaking trophy. Even I don't get it. Like that part I'll never get. I mean, competitiveness in childhood, sports, all that stuff, forcing you to work harder at whatever you need to improve just to up your game. Like, I feel like that is some good teachings for kids growing up. Not everybody just gets crap handed to you just because you tried.
rope in gym class with nothing but a thin mat on the ground. The pain of getting hit in the face with a dodgeball, being thrown off the playground equipment at 100 miles per hour, wearing gym class pennies that were never washed, but we still had to wear them. Ever had
Girls? Did you have to wear those? I don't recall ever seeing or hearing about those.
class in a portable classroom?
Yeah.
It was so hot in the summer, freezing cold in the winter. Who remembers using the card catalog to find a book? Used to take longer to find the book than to actually read it. Nothing was worse than getting a red card. Did you ever get hit when corporal punishment was still allowed? We walked several miles to get to school, selling candy bars for the school fundraiser, disrupting class and getting punished for it.
I remember that. Lines? Holy crap. That's crazy.
Not only did we write in cursive, but we had penmanship in school. What else do you remember? Share it with me.
The most ridiculous 1980s home trends everyone had. First up, waterbeds. A mattress filled...
Did anybody have a waterbed? My parents had a waterbed. It didn't really look like this, though. It was more of like four separate tubes that you filled up with water. I don't get the craze of it. I don't. I even remember I was a kid laying on that bed. It wasn't that comfortable. So I don't know why people even go through the trouble of getting it.
with water that could weigh over 1,800 pounds. The clapper. Why get up and flip a switch when you could just clap your hands? And who remembers country goose decor? For some reason, porcelain geese were everywhere.
My grandma had tons of those.
Let's talk about wallpaper borders. Apparently every room needed one. Then came mauve. Everything from carpet and tile to even the appliances. Meanwhile, brass, wood, and fuzzy everything were incredibly popular. Growing up, we thought glass block walls were the height of luxury. Some houses even had those toilet paper doll covers in the bathroom. Remember yelling through these intercom? How about these? Answering machine? And who thought sunken living rooms were a good idea? Remember the giant entertainment center? Finally, every house had plastic covers on the couch that mom refused to take off.
Now, I had friends that had the plastic covering, but I don't recall ever having that on our couch. I can't even think of a single time. Plus, like, during the summer, that would be so horrible. You're just stuck to the couch. I mean, I guess it made it easier to clean and, kept your couch looking new, I guess.
So how many of these were in your house growing up? Comment below. You know you're old if you remember these high school memories.
Okay.
Jansport backpacks with the leather bottom, always worn over one shoulder, begging your parents relentlessly until they finally bought you a pager.
Jeez, a pager. I actually never got one of those. My older sister did. She was adamant about getting that, but never had to go through that. I didn't get my first phone until I was 19 or something. Didn't even want the pager. I prefer to keep people guessing and trying to figure out where I am at.
The TV carts in high school,
Oh.
possibly with TVs hanging in the corners of classrooms. The TI-83 graphing calculator, which you used to play games more than for actual math.
I remember those games you could put on those things. That's crazy. I forgot all about that now. That's insane.
Carrying around a spell checker and electronic notepad that you
Yep.
never actually used. Science classrooms that looked exactly like your school's. The creaky desks and chairs you struggled to squeeze into. Having desks like these. Communicating with your friends or crush with notes like these in class. Computer labs without internet connections. Reading Cliff's notes instead of the actual books, hoping the teacher's questions were mostly covered in the Cliff's Notes
I never actually did that. I actually read the book.
summaries. Vending machines everywhere in school. Anxiously waiting to use the school's only payphone because someone ahead of you was slowly talking to their significant other. Playing this CD at every pep rally.
Jock Jam.
Do you remember these? Getting hurt as a 90s kid. Kids today could never. Getting smacked in the head by a sky dancer. Your hair getting ripped from the roots by one of these. Getting hit in the knuckles by a clacker.
That's
Who
happened.
remembers the pain of those metal pedals on?
Those were dangerous. If your foot slipped even a little bit and put a fast spin on that and it smacked your shin, oh man, you'd be bleeding.
On bikes. If this got in your eye, it was game over. Feeling these smack you in the skull. That skin pinch bracelet like tweezers ripping out your arm hair. These didn't skate at all.
Oh yeah,
Just
those never worked.
multiple knee grazes. Stepping on a Lego hurts, right? Anyone
Still
remember
does.
stepping on a Barbie high heel? Trying not to dislocate your finger getting it out of the finger trap. I can still hear the echo of the microphone hitting my head. Being spun off the roundabout at 100 miles per hour. Third-degree burns from the 50-foot slide.
Now that I definitely remember. You had to strategically try and place your body as you're sitting down, especially during the summer. You got shorts on, you gotta try to lean back slightly so you can keep your legs off of it. Oh, it was definitely hard work to go down those slides, especially in the middle of the summer.
Getting tripped by a skippet and going arse over tit. Pinging these off and using them as a catapult. Trying not to lose an eye practicing with this. Playing slapsies with snap bracelets.
Yep.
Getting whacked in the face with swing ball. Drop your birth year if you felt this.
Okay, that's all I got for you guys. It's just a little brief nostalgia. To be honest, I wish we can go backwards. I wish we can go back. As useful as AI is and technology nowadays, I think times were just simpler. I think I feel like if overnight, with all the memories that we do have of today, tomorrow we woke up in an 80s kind of setting where no internet, well, probably have dial up, but no cell phones, none of that shit. I think, I would probably think I died and gone to heaven. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy all the technology. I like everything nowadays, but can I do without it? Yeah, I could. But anyway, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if any of these kind of hit home for you. I did have another one I was going to throw in there. It was more of alcohol from the late 90s and stuff, which I do remember some of those things. But decided to leave that one out. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Could you go back to the 80s and 90s? Would you choose to? Would you drop all technology just to go back and live in those days? Honestly, I would. But I'm curious about what you think. Anyways, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that fun shit. And I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.